Welcome back to my whiskey pick of the week. You know, I'm Eric the Whiskey Guy, and as always, as usual, and as advertised. Oh, am I bringing you a treat this week? And this week is definitely no different. I'm excited. I get to try one of my favorite brands, my favorite whiskey stories, one of my favorite people when it comes to whiskey. We're going to be trying the newest Uncle Nearest, better known as Nearest Green, his newest line to the collection, the Nearest Green Tennessee whiskey, the baby of the bunch. So I'm very excited about that. If you've been watching any of my videos or watched my videos from the beginning since day one, I've had a saying that every bottle has a story. You have the true story, you have a good story, and you have your story. And this brand has all three of them above, so I'm very excited to try it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just pop it open right now. Ooh, it's on tight. Let it breathe a little bit. This cork is on there tight. It's not playing. Yeah, I noticed that a few years back, my brother, he used to drink this craft beer, and every time before he took a sip of it, he'd just let it open, he'd pour it in a glass and just let it sit for a minute. And it kind of dawned on me that I should be doing that with my whiskeys too. Let it get a little bit of fresh air. Because if you think about it, like anything, if it's been cooped up in a bottle, you kind of want to let it stretch out a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. It just let it breathe. Now, when it comes to the Nearest Green, better known as Uncle Nearest, everyone or a lot of people should know the story by now. Him and Jack Daniels pretty much are intertwined when it comes to making of whiskeys, distilleries, the process, etc., etc. I did an extensive video on Nearest Green, I believe last year. So if you get a chance, please check out that video. So this week is really just enjoying the journey from when I was aware of them. I want to say like 2018. I know they were brand new. They were probably like a year in, and I've never heard anything negative about the brand, the company, the taste, anything like that. Has always been positive responses when it comes to the Uncle Nearest's collections, and I'm sure this one's no different. This story is probably one of the best whiskey stories that you ever gonna hear. Just real briefly, you got a guy that was born in enslavement. He worked on a plantation. He developed a skill how to make whiskey, distill it. He had a process that he used that is still used today, where he uses charcoal to filter the whiskey, and that's actually part of the Tennessee whiskey process today. He took a young man named Jack Daniels under his wing, showed him how to make whiskey, and pretty much it's been history from that. But if you look at it, even if you're not really into whiskey, if you read the book, or what they should do is make a story. You get somebody like Denzel or somebody to play Nearest Green. Now you're talking Academy Awards, Oscars. The story is that great. The story pretty much will almost outweigh any whiskey story that you have, and there's some good ones. Like, comparison just off the top, I would say that's like movie worthy type backstories to them. Off the top, I'll probably say Elijah Craig. That's one that can kind of make a movie out of, because not only was he a distillery, he was also a pastor, and that's a good story too. You also got Clyde Mays. He was the bootlegger over there in the southeast, Louisiana, Georgia, one of those places, and they just went legit probably less than 10 years ago. So that'll be a good one. So it's not too many of them that's even up there. Obviously Jack Daniels, but when you think about Jack Daniels, you have to mention Uncle Nearest, and he pretty much gonna steal the show once you've seen what he brought to the table in the type of circumstances that he was in. So we're talking a great backstory, and I'm glad to see they are producing the way that they are producing. I want to say that the Nearest Green Distillery was probably the quickest company ever as far as whiskeys to reach $1 billion in sales within the time frame. And it does have to do a lot to the backstory. So not only are they intriguing to the casual whiskey drinker, a whiskey fanatic like myself, but they're also getting a lot of people that probably hasn't really tried whiskey or even trying whiskey for the first time to jump on board to try this one. So it's some great things that they're doing up there in Tennessee. Now with this one, this is the newest one. And when I first seen it, I was gonna get it anyway. I did notice that it was 84 proof. 84 proof that's very low when it comes to whiskeys and bourbons here in the United States. That's mostly Japanese whiskey. You gonna find under 90 proof, scotches, a few Irish whiskeys, but you're not really gonna see any whiskeys or bourbons in the United States that's under the 90. I want to say the closest one that I may have in my cabinet would probably be the Flatboat whiskey. That's one of my favorite ones. I actually compare that to Blanton's. So I was kind of wondering why they would come out with one so low, and then it kind of like dawned on me. It took me back for the first time that I tried the Uncle Nearest. I want to say it was the 1856. And if you're not, and back then, I think it was probably like 2018, so it's been a while. Back then, I wasn't really a quote-unquote whiskey drinker. I would do shots of Fireball and drink whatever beer that I had at the time. So, like a lot of people, when you're trying a whiskey or you just drinking whiskey, a lot of people take a shot. And that's what I did, and that's what I had a flashback. And when I took a shot, the very first time I took a shot of the Uncle Nearest, I felt like my whole chest was gonna explode. That was the highest. Like it was so strong I had to actually look at the bottle. And I said to myself, I was like, Uncle Nearest, this is definitely your uncle's whiskey, because it tastes like it's potent. It is very potent, and it kind of just threw me off guard because I'm thinking Tennessee whiskey. I'm thinking of the Chris Stapleton song. It's smooth as Tennessee whiskey, so I'm thinking I'm gonna probably go down like some American honey, or like Crown peach or something like that, where it's kind of like a smooth taste. No, it's the real deal. So even on the back of the bottle, that it says they made this one basically for a more approachable brand proof, a more approachable proof. So it's for the people. I would say this would be a great first time if you want to get into whiskey or you want to try whiskey. I'm gonna recommend off tops, and I haven't even tried this one, the 84 proof, because they even said it themselves. They made this one so you can kind of just get your foot in the door when it comes to whiskey. So we're gonna see how it is. Now, my expectations on it is, I got some high expectations, but I know it's probably gonna burn too, even though it's at the 84 proof. I got a feeling, but you never know. got a good smell to it. It got more like a little Scotch smell to it than your normal, like your normal Tennessee whiskeys. Yeah, yeah. Now this is smooth. Now this is smooth. I see why it's 84 proof. This is smooth. This is for people that if you want to try it and be like, oh no, I need to add some water to it, or I need to put an ice cube in it before I even take it. You don't have to do none of that. Now I wouldn't recommend taking a shot. You do not want to. I wouldn't recommend taking a shot. If you like doing shots, that's you. But just to sip on it, this is a already ready to go sippable type of whiskey right here. This is pretty good. You don't have to do nothing to it. So right now they got something for everybody. They got something if you're the baby, if you're first starting out, you can get your entry level. I believe this is around $40, so it's not too bad. And then you can make your way up to the premiums, the 1856s, then you get in the single barrels and etc. I believe that all the other ones at least start out at 100 proof. So this one is 16 points lower. So that kind of gives you an idea. So if you want to get your feet wet, this would be a perfect one. I never was the type to say, oh, this is like a beginner or a first time type of whiskey, because I feel like your first whiskey should be the ones that you've been drinking when you go to the bar. But as far as like if you want to get a collection and kind of get your tolerance up for whiskey, this will be the perfect one. This will be the one that I would recommend. Do not just look at the 94 or the 84 proof and be like, oh man, no, this is a good one, especially, and it's just a great one to have in your rotation. Sometimes I like to put a little water in mine, or even an ice cube, and I know right now that if I want to just take a sip and just slow sip on this one, it's all ready to go. So this is the Nearest Green, aka Uncle Nearest. This is the newest one, the Tennessee whiskey, the Kelly Green label, and I highly recommend it. I would give it for the price, the proof, etc. I have to give it a clean 8.5. So this is my pick of the week. We're gonna do it all again next week.